Well, welcome to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. On behalf of our CEO President, Mr. Jim Porter, we would like to welcome everyone. This week it has been fascinating. We hosted over 3,000 young student athletes with their flag tournaments. So if you're here with flag, we want to say congratulations and salute you. They're representing all 32 NFL teams as well as other countries. So let's give them a round of applause. That's right. Today we're going to go inside the lines. So what does that mean? Well, there's a lot that goes on when you're playing this game of football, as we all know. There's preparation, but there's that mindset, that macho-ness, that energy, that alpha male that's going to come out today. So I can't wait for this chalk talk. I'm going to turn on these mics here, and we're super excited. But I'll also be remiss if I didn't share with you our mission, vision, values here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Those that work here, we have the privilege, I want to say that again, we have the privilege of honoring some of the greats of the game, preserving their history, promoting their values, and celebrating excellence together. So we want to welcome everybody here this morning. We hope you're enjoying yourself in Canton. And are we ready to go? Now, let's meet our Hall of Famers. He is known as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers legend. He's an Iron Man, and check this out. He started every game for 13 years in a row. From the class of 2023, Mr. Rondé Barber. And okay, if you are a Green Bay Packers fan, you know he invented the Lambeau Leap. Today is a special day. We're not gonna sing happy birthday to him, but for now, from the class of 2022, Mr. LeRoy Butler. This man here was the anchor of the Buffalo Bills Electric Company offensive line. And yes, he is another true Iron Man warrior from the class of 2003, Mr. Joe DeLamielleure. He played his entire years with the Cincinnati Bengals. He is the 1991 NFL Man of the Year. And guess what? He has the hinky to show for it. Anthony Muñoz! This man coined the term Hail Mary. He is Mr. Hunt himself from the class of 2021. Yes, he donned the star. Drew Pearson. And lastly, he was quarterback Jim Kelly, Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly's right-hand man in that 1993 playoff comeback game. He is from the class of 2014, Mr. Andre Reed. Please welcome your World Football Hall of Fame class. Let's give a round of applause. And Nick Bag. This cool t-shirt is on sale right now in the Hall of Fame store, by the way. You like this? This is cool, right? All right. Well, Josh, how's everybody doing? Great. Great. Awesome, awesome. Well, you guys are back here for the second year in a row with the NFL flag. And I want this question open up for everybody. But if you could just talk about the evolution and just seeing how NFL is taking this NFL flag to the next level?
No doubt about it. The level is outstanding. Everybody's having fun here, right? This, it's kind of so close to our hearts because a lot of us started popcorn football and doing stuff. We didn't have flag. We went right to cats. So we knew right away if he was a be ready to play or not. But just to see these kids, the enthusiasm and all the things that they're doing, and the coaches, how they're coaching, it's amazing with the NFL now that they're the head of this, that took this on. Yeah. It's going to be an Olympics in a couple of years. So, nuts. Yeah.
I'll say the evolution of this is awesome. So I'll tell you a story. Back when I was in, I don't know how old I was. I know I was in rec league. My mom played football with pads. So a bunch of moms putting on helmets and shoulder pads. And if I told her that she could have played flag football, she'd been a lot happier. Yeah. I tried to go play tackle football with a bunch of other moms. So I just think this sport it's just bringing the masses to in. I mean, it's great for the NFL to embrace it, and everybody's wearing a team jersey out here. I think that's one of the most poignant things about this weekend is to relate to the city that you're from, even if you're not from that city. I know some doubt playing up for cities, but it's a great game, and I wish it'd been around. But so I'm over the questions.
I'm yours, sir. I'm gonna ask too. So,
You're back for NFL flag for the second year, and your thoughts on the way the game has been evolving and how the NFL's embraced NFL flag, and your just overall thoughts.
yeah, the flag football is more equal an opportunity to play this great game of football. It don't have to be with a helmet and just show the fans and knocking people around. You can still show your skills, your abilities, your talents by playing flag football. It's a great way to showcase that. And I just impressed by so many kids wanting to play. Because nowadays there's so many distractions out there. People want to play video games instead of get out there and really play and run around. So I'm just proud of everybody that shows up. The parents as well. The support you give your kids is amazing. Some of the stories we've heard out here, how you got here, the things you got to do while you stay here, and all that kind of stuff. So it all works together, and it's all because of the game of football. And I'm glad the NFL sees the value in flag football to extend their game.
But first of all, I would like to tell people who don't know me, this is my hero growing up. I love Drew Pearson. I just do. I grew up a Cowboy fan too. I'm one of those obnoxious Cowboy fans. So, we lost the two Super Bowls.
It's birthday today.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The reason why that question is powerful, because think about it. The Olympics is flag football. And we tell kids, I don't know what I'm going to play. I don't know if I want to play football. Well, flag is the best of both worlds. It's not a lot of people you're going to play. Because with tackle football, I was one of the kids who wasn't real big and didn't play very much. I was the only kid with a clean uniform. But I was glad to have a uniform on. But the kids who were picking on me, they were on their gate, on their bikes. You don't have a uniform. So flag is a way to have an investment. I was here when they gave out the trophy. When you have it on the four-letter network, ESPN, ABC, Disney, it's big. But the evolution of it, as far as the rules and things of that nature, and Drew said best, the parents, thank you, because this is the summertime. You could be doing anything. And the grandmas and the granddads, we love and respect you for coming and supporting your child. Because me, I'm a mama's boy growing up, and my mom wasn't there. I had anxiety. I couldn't play. But if you're a young man or a young lady, you don't really know if you want to play, try flag first to see if you like it. Because if you don't, everything is still fine. But this is a way to do it. And I'm so glad that it's at the hall.
I like it because I have daughters playing in South Carolina. They're good athletes. They're great. The two girls are all state track, and they said, "Man, football. Let's start playing football." And it's a great sport because I always said that the girls don't start playing sports are ridiculous. Like 4 years ago, I said this. The football is going this way because they're not participating. I look at my wife, she was saying, "I don't want the kids playing football." A lot of women have felt that way. Now that they see girls are playing football, you're going to get a lot more exposure, and they're going to understand the game. But I think it's a huge boost for football to have the girls playing. They're good. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, when I was asked to come back up for the second year, it was like, okay, when do I have to be there? Because I love the young men and women playing the sport that I had a chance to play for years and years. And so, Rondé, we did have flag football when I was growing up, and that was a long time ago in Southern California. So I'm actually a product of flag football. I put the pads on as a freshman in high school. But from 8 years old to 8th grade, I was flag football kid. And I loved it because baseball was my first love, but flag football gave me an opportunity to learn the basic fundamentals about the game. And that's where I see with the young people, the young men and women, they get a chance to experience that playing flag football. You won't have to go out there if hitting is not your thing, and it's not for everyone. I have some grandsons that, sixth, seventh grade, they were like, "Mom, Dad, what can we put the pads of?" And that not every kid is that way. So flag football gives you an opportunity to learn the game, we compete. And, for me, it was pretty cool. The press conference we had the first day, Ohio being the 17th state, there's now a varsity sport for the young ladies.
Oh, that's nice.
So I think that's
Thank you, Anthony. And the name of this paddle is Inside the Lines. And I'm just going to throw this out there, and I'm going to let you guys go so everybody can get a taste of the energy of what it's like to be in the locker room. And whoever wants to go first, and do what you all do. But when you think about Inside the Lines, what did you guys love most about playing with Inside those lines?
Camaraderie. That's a big word. A lot of people don't know what that means.
Did it start with a K?
For you, it starts, yeah.
Okay, Florida State.
Camaraderie. Okay, yeah, there you go. I think just the togetherness. I mean, we're all here for what we did in the game, but we wouldn't be here if we didn't have that camaraderie with our teammates, our city, our coaches, all that stuff. We wouldn't be here. Somebody made me better every single day. They made me accountable for every time I got on the field, and they expected me to be accountable. And I'm sure these guys would say the same things for their teams that they played for. They're here for what they did, but it was somebody else that made them accountable for what they did too.
Get out line. Inside the lines, what does it mean? To me, it was, and it's still this way because I still watch and cover football. It's about competition. Like, I've had a bunch of kids come up to me these last couple of days and, "Hey, you got like a little bit of advice, And it's always compete. Like, you get inside the lines, it's an opportunity to go be good at something. And we were obviously a little bit different. We, at this level, playing in the NFL and being able to wear this jacket, you competed at the highest level and you were very successful. But the reality is, there's not many things in life that you can go out and compete for fun. And football is one of those. And do it in a team concept. So camaraderie with a C. Okay, is a huge part of it. Football is the best team sport there is. I don't care basketball, soccer, but any other sport, basketball, it doesn't matter. Football is the most competitive team sport in the world. And when you get inside those lines, it gives you an opportunity to go find your best self, right? And you need other people to do that, but like just knowing that you have to compete to win, I think is the funnest thing about what we got to do for a long time. And it's nice to have been really good at it. And
You know, we do recognize that this Jack now. Man, it's yeah. Yeah, it's a combination of what Andre said and what Rondé said. With camaraderie and competitiveness and competition, it leads to teamwork. Teamwork makes all that happen. That's what happens inside the locker room, inside the lines. The team ain't working together, and you individually don't have a chance to be successful. I'm here because of the teams I played with the Dallas Cowboys. My quarterback was Roger Staubach for 8 seasons, all right? Roger Staubach can make Stevie Wonder a Hall of Famer. That's crazy. He took an undrafted free agent from Tulsa University with a $150 signing bonus and turned him into this, okay? Woo. He's the point of the guy, okay? But it's the whole locker room, the guys I played with, we were all serious about what we were doing because the leadership we had through Tom Landry. And it was all about teamwork. And everybody had to do things the same. Nobody was special until you messed up, then you got called out. But it's about teamwork within the locker room and the success. I played 11 years, played 7 championship games, and 3 Super Bowls. And it's all because I played on some great teams during my 11-year career with the Dallas Cowboys.
For me, the guys hit it, and they're all gonna hit the mark. But to me, the emotional part of it really helped me be the player I was. Because coming from Florida State, we won 11, 12 games all the time. You get to Green Bay in the 90s, and we like 4-12, 6-10, but it wasn't my fault. They're better players, you know. But I'm thinking, but I'm still relying upon my teammate. And I'll give you a quick example. So we get Brett Varner, Reggie White. So I remember Brett threw an interception in practice. And he was so upset, he's kicking the dirt, is just offing up, you know, saying stuff to himself. I said, hey, don't do that. No, don't do that. No. It's my job to go get it back. And on the occasion, don't Google it, but on the occasion I get beat for a touchdown. I'm a little upset. Brett come to me, Roy Lee, I got you. So he would play, sorry Lion fans, against the Lions, roll my way and throw it back to Sterling Sharp for an 80-yard bomb, walk-off touchdown. Guess what? They never even talk about my touchdown. And I gave up. Rondé's right. It's the ultimate team sport. Where can you get 10 other guys to help you succeed? I was a special education student, and I thought I could never play in the league, but my 5th grade teacher, Miss Brown, she said they have playbooks in the NFL, and I have anxiety. I said, oh, I can't remember something. I said, well, what does it look like? She says, it's about the thick as a phone book. If you're 50 and up, you know what that means. Hey, what's a phone book? It wasn't all this. It was about this thick, and had everybody's name and address in it. So you could be as creepy as you want. Girl, if you like me, bro, sure, I'll give you that phone book. But my teacher saved my life mentally. She said, I'm gonna teach you the Cliff Notes. How do you study? Because when they get in that huddle, he gonna say, your teammates say 1 of 1,000 plays, you gotta know it. And you gotta help the guy beside you. And in closing, I'm gonna say the biggest thing about the camaraderie is when you retire, it's a difference because you don't see those guys every day. So I tell the guys playing now, take advantage of it and embrace your teammates and your coaches. And if there's any teachers here today, I love and respect you more than anything, because if it wasn't for teachers, there is no LeRoy Butler. Because when you got a teacher, every year that all these kids may remember everything. They know what you're good at. And the kids that's picking on you and bullying you and whatever, it ain't up to them. So don't pay it no attention. You must understand that teamwork is the ultimate dream work.
So all these guys are great stories. I'm the ninth of 10 kids, so we went to college. My dad went to third grade, my mother went to eighth grade. I said, Dad, I'm starting to get letters from colleges. They said I play football. We own a bar, just so nobody drinks in the family, though. We have bars for 91 years. Sober 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. So he said, I go, Dad, they want me to play at Michigan State. Those furniture. He said, what are you kidding me? He said, there's no way. You're not going. I'm just going to part of temper. I was the best bartender, but I have brother who also Bob Dane. So that's not high. I'm not going real high at that. But I did. He didn't understand it. He said, I don't understand why he was want to play a game. I said, because I can yield school for free. They go, oh, okay, try it. So I ended up in the NFL. Never in a million ways would I think that. And I ever see what's my biggest thrill of football was starting the first game we played in New England Patriots. And they say, hey, we're going to introduce you to the offense. I just looked up in the stands and said, that it's a miracle. I'm actually playing in front of people. And I never thought in a million years I would. Never. And I ended up playing 13 years and played with O.J. Simpson, who's probably the greatest, one of the greatest story backs ever. Everybody's got a story. That's part of football. The locker room is so important because you grow up with guys. That's it.
It's tough when you go last with guys like this because they talk about really all the components of what it means to be inside the lines. And I'll play off a couple, which I really believe, they use camaraderie, I use brotherhood, because the time we spend together, and I can go back to college teammates, pro teammates, and now my new teammates at the Hall of Fame. There is a special bond that we have, and we might have competed against each other. I mean, several times during our career, and people ask me, what happens when you see someone you competed? Do you guys talk to each other at all? I said, it's a handshake and a hug because of the respect we have in the brotherhood. But what leads from that brotherhood to me, I'm going to go on Rondé, is compete. To me, inside the lines, it was all about competing. I could be playing against a guy that I played with in college, and I would talk to him after the game. Usually not before the game. I definitely would talk to him during the game. He would talk, but I'd just ignore him. And then afterwards, he'd say, oh, so now you can talk to me. I said, yeah, I had a job to, this time to compete, and you were part of that obstacle on my way to be successful. So tip for me, competition and compete was huge within the line. But the brotherhood, to me, there's nothing, I've never served in the military. I'm sure they have an amazing brotherhood, but this brotherhood we have, and the respect that I have for the military, like I'm sure we all do, I'm not this speak for all you guys, is amazing. Thank you for your service. The brotherhood that I was able to establish after I retired with my guys that I played with, and now my fellow Hall of Famers, to me, that occurred because of what we did inside one.
What number are you? What's it? Your jacket number?
192.
192. Yeah. That's very important, the numbers. I'm 357, and we did that. Do you see it though?
I was at the look. Yeah. 5 years, but
Yeah, you too, guys.
I know mine. I'm going to say I put in 38 years. I know mine.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Amen. What number are you, Rondé?
I was 3'6'3", and to build on what LeRoy is getting towards, it's a bad story because I said it and I didn't mean to offend LeRoy, but when I got in, he got in the year before, and we're in this meeting. It's just Hall of Famers, and I probably shouldn't tell this story, but I'm about to tell it. It's like, you wait a long time to get in the Hall of Fame. Joe, long time to get in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, he had a Hall of Fame career. And we talk a lot about guys that get in first ballot or whatever. I didn't get in first ballot. Took me 6 years. So we're in this meeting, and LeRoy's talking to the new class of Hall of Famers, me, Thomas, Zach Thomas, Marcus Ware, and he's like, "Hey, everybody, get up and say something about, off the cuff, like no preparation. They just put you in the ring, say that, start talking." And I start talking. I talk about the journey to get to where I was, and then, I was like, I didn't think I was ever gonna get in the Hall of Fame, and I said, I didn't mean this, but I kind of did mean it. I said, they put LeRoy Butler in the Hall of Fame. I didn't mean that. I thought it was hilarious. I was dying laughing. But the point is, it doesn't matter when you get into this club, to this, talking about brothership and fellowship. Really now, that it's an exclusive deal. You say your number. I mean, there's only 382 of us earned that could don these Bull Jackets, of the 30,000 that played this game professionally. So this is it's a special group, and we're within our own line, but that doesn't exclude us from being inside the line of that 30,000 that also play professional. I got a lot of great teammates that probably won't get. I got a twin brother that might not get in the Hall of Fame, right? He had a great career, but it's something special to have played this sport, and I say it's the best because I mean it is the best sport. I remember that.
Right. You talked about competing, and I want to have some fun here. We have some defensive backs, and we have some wide receivers. So this question is for LeRoy and for Rondé. Would you look at Andre Reed and Drew Pearson? How would you guys prepare for wide receivers like that on game day?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I got to stir the pot, but they want to experience a lot.
Right on, we going out and up.
They got to tackle me. That's the bottom line. Like that.
Andre was great after the catch, man. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Drew's too old for me to watch him play.
All right, so Rondé to Google me.
He was a real playmaker. 50th anniversary, right? Of the Hail Mary.
Yeah. Coming up December 28th.
And maybe the best throw of all time. The best.
I'll answer that question really quickly, and I'll give it to LeRoy. I didn't care what he did. I played against quarterbacks. I'm in Hall of Fame because I was above the net player. And physically, I would have been able to, and I don't think I'd ever compete with him either, but somebody had to throw them the ball, and I spent a lot of eye time preparing for what the guy letting go of the football was going to do. So, I had 47 interceptions and third most touchdowns returns ever by a non-offensive player.
With the sacks in there.
Yeah, well, the sacks too, but a lot of that was just knowing what was coming from the quarterback. So, sorry, Andre, I wouldn't.
Was that the first 20 interceptions and 20 sacks in a season?
Yeah.
That's
for real. People always ask me, who's the toughest defensive back you played against? And I always have something to say really funny, and it's on the golf course kind of thing, so I'm not going to say that year. And it's always either Dion or Rod Woodson. But that was my hero, too. And I never got a chance to play against Rondé. And obviously what he did on the field, interceptions and sacks and all that. I mean, he was one of a kind. But it was a battle every time. And it didn't matter. I always got the first guy. The first guy was always going to follow me around. And I had to be on point. If I was on point, I wouldn't be sitting here. So that's about.
I think for me, Rondé's 100% correct. When you're in the safety slot, you do study the quarterback more because the receiver relies upon him. But moreover, semicolon, if they had a true, as the kids say, wide receiver one, we know everything about that. That's why we have interns. I said, I want to know everything about Jerry Rice, everything about Chris Carter. I want to know everything. And then I remember one of the interns said, why do you want to know that? I said, because I'm going to talk to them about it when we get on the field. They started extracting. Because with receivers and Rondé know that the best way to get to them, you frustrate them. Because they're used to getting a lot of targets. So we would just double them. And the other guy to have a career day. A career day. The other wide receiver 2, 3, 4, they're on Sports Center, the wide receiver 1. Upset, you're turning over water jugs and kicking stuff that he had talked to his family in 2 weeks because he didn't score. That's how you get them. You're the best wide receiver of all time, but not this week. And we don't make sure somebody, J.J. Stokes, is not Jerry Rice. But in closing, Andre Reed did put 16 catches for 230. Don't look at it. Just there. He had a career day on Green Bay. So sometimes, God made God better than you that day. And it happens. And you just, and that's kids about how you handle defeat and stuff like that. You're playing against, they get paid too. My mom told me that. My mom said, yeah, I got a quarterback. He get paid, he has a family. Then I said, okay, I just got to understand it's part of the game. But you just got to make sure they don't have a day like Andre did. So you don't have to hear about it 30 years from now.
Yeah, they hear about it a lot for sure.
Now, Anthony and Joe, you guys are on that offensive line. And Anthony, I know you face so many premier defensive ends. And Joe, you face some ferocious men within the trenches. Talk about some of your toughest competitions that you guys had to go through. I want to hear this.
It's kind of interesting because Joe Green said right away, she's up that. Both.
You're as hot. It's going to be a tough day, T, but you'd be surprised. Some guys you don't know their name, anything. They come there and they play hard. This guy, Mike Barnes, played unbelievable. Guy's like 6'5", I don't know what he got, probably 270. He ran like I couldn't believe how quick it was. And so there's different things, different guys. That's what's up here. And I go, no, wait a second. This Mike Reed guy. Here's the thing. I played 3 of the toughest guys I played against. Mike Reed played New Orleans, right? The other guy I played against, he was a singer. Sing. And then the other guy's an answer.
This good dance, good second hands. They're the toughest guys there. But Mike Barnes is also an artist. I'm tough in an artist ski.
But that's how you look at it.
Yes. And in any respect, everybody put on even the baggage.
You want people to go down.
And then you do me a favor. You remember we were talking in the room and about how the defense would come off and give you his chest because that story you told how you were
Gonna turn down charity?
Yeah, just guys come off big and tough, these edge rushers, and you see that number up, you take advantage of it.
Could I just add something real quick to Joe? He mentioned Mike Reed. For those of you, Mike was at Cincinnati several years before I got there. He actually had his hand insured. Only played 3 or 4 years, was all pro those 3 or 4 years. Dave Lapham, who I played next to my first 4 years, said he was the quickest guy they'd ever played against. But he left because he played the piano. He's ridden Grammys, he's ridden opera. He's got so many awards from songs he's written. This guy is amazing. So I know exactly who you're talking about.
Damn, guys, thanks, speed.
Really, you asked me a question. I just want to get a feeling about, you're talking about talking to guys?
Yeah.
What if guys didn't react to your talking? How would you take that? See, I'm asking that because I never talked. I can say never talked. And guys that would talk to me, they would get frustrated and go to my guard or center because I knew that was their game. But how did wide receiver, wide receivers, you didn't react to them, did you? No, I just think you would.
I was a talker.
Yeah.
I was just a doer.
So,
Is it you think it's a defensive back who was whooped and Enshrinement and will help?
That's just the way it goes, man. Right? I
Bring it.
Yeah.
Back it up.
You got.
I talk all the time. You know, my teammates used to tell me that. He said, "You ain't got to block nobody's up, man."
Hey, that was just your game. That was it. I get mine. I'm gonna get mine.
But if they talking, Andre, you got to give it back, right? You just take it. You know, I said, all right.
so my brother told
Here comes third down.
my brother told me when I was about 6 or 7, baseball was my sport. That was my first sport. I have a brother that's 8 years older than me. And he taught me a lot. He taught me how to catch a short hop, baseball, not turning the head. So I had bruises on my chest. So I wouldn't block it if I didn't catch it. But he said, he looked at me and when he's 8 years old, when I'm like 6, 7, he said, don't ever talk about how good you are. He said, if you're good enough, people will talk about you. Little did I know I was learning humility. So I took that and just said, my performance is going to speak. I don't have to say a word. So if you're going to talk to me, go talk to another lineman because I'm not going to say anything. I might wink at you and say, keep talking. That was my way of saying, just keep going. But I just wanted to add that. But as far as the toughest, I mean, at left tackle when I was playing, I could probably give you a dozen guys, probably guys like Joe said that you've never heard about. But the one guy that I played probably half dozen times, and he was a teammate of Andre's, he's in the hall, played with 19, 20 years, the best overall defensive end, the total package, size, speed, strength, quickness, smarts, was Bruce Smith. The guy's amazing. I mean, long. He was, hit shoulders, maybe, but he was the best I ever faced. I mean, and at left tackle, I knew every Sunday they were going to have their best pass rusher, the best guy. If it was the defensive end, or if it was a Derek Thomas, we all remember Derek Thomas. Linebacker that ran, like crazy. They put him down to rush the passer. But, and I got to mention one guy, I don't know, look, I saw Raider jersey right over here. Greg Townsend. Howie Long was on one side, Greg Townsend, the guy was amazing. Probably one of the best I ever played against. Bruce Smith, you knew come Sunday, Monday night, whenever you go play him, you had to be not only everything, you had to have your A+ flustered. Yes, Bruce.
Now, Joe and Anthony, was it an unwritten rule within the offensive line room that you guys, I don't care if it was rain, hail, snow, cold, temperature, you guys always did not wear sleeves?
Well,
Every offensive lineman you see.
So let me give you the reasoning behind that. So they might buy an offensive line jersey size 50, 52, but when we put it on our pads, it's like a 42. Because the more material you have, that's what the defensive linemen want to do, is grab. So you tailor it, you have no jersey, it's so tight, you have to have your buddies help you put it on. So that's the whole reasoning behind the small jersey. Before they actually said, hey, stickum is no longer allowed. See, the guys would have stickum all over the place, so the way we combated it was you just had a little silicone on your jersey, I gotta look like, but the quarterback before the game would look at the center and go, keep that silicone out the football, because he wouldn't be able to hold, but then they said no more, so it was like 1 year in the league and it was gone. So here we are, my second year in the league, we win the AFC Championship game, and we're going to Super Bowl 16. The AFC Championship game is at home. We're going to go bare sleeve because that's what we've done all along. The Chargers have a defensive tackle. His name is Big Hands Johnson.
It's Gary.
Appropriate. Gary Big Hands Johnson, appropriate name for the guy. He has some hands like here, and he just grab you. So we're playing, we wake up game day, and to this day, total weather, it's the coldest game on record. It was 59 below zero in Cincinnati. The week before we played Buffalo and it was like 52 degrees. A week later it's 59 below. So we as an offensive line, we look at each other and go, no sleeves, man. No sleeves. The 5 starters said we're in, the 3 backups said, well, we're not playing. We can wear sleeves. Yeah, you're part of the group, baby. So here's what I wore: a gray t-shirt, shoulder pads, my size 42 jersey, and nothing else. We put a little Vaseline on it, but it didn't help. We did wear scuba gloves just to keep the fingers. But we were not going to compromise and let the defense have sleeves on the 59 below 0 game. We went sleeveless. One last thing. Pre-game warm-up lasted about 2-3 minutes on the field. We ran back in, warmed up in the locker room. In that short time, we looked over the Chargers sideline. There was 2 guys that didn't have sleeves on. Pre-game warm-up. So now we come out ready for the game. Me and my buddy, another lineman, said, we got to find these guys. We knew their numbers. We saw the numbers before. So we look at, there they are. I think they had at least 2 layers on. They did not go down. But yeah, so to your point, that's the whole sleeveless thing is you want to, and somebody, they're always asking me, did you use that as a psychological edge? Offensive lineman, do you think I'm thinking psychological edge? But I think when it was all said and done, it became somewhat of a psychological edge because coming from San Diego to nice chilly Cincinnati with I think they want to get back on that plane and get back to San Diego.
I played in Buffalo and Cleveland, and 2 years before you played that game, we played the Raiders up here at 35 below at the Wiz Show. And so Paul McDowell, ain't that impressive regular. I had to stretch her out. Didn't matter, I didn't recover. But Carl McDonald was the holder. You guys remember this? People in Cleveland are here. And Koproff was a great kicker. Hardly ever miss. He missed 2. And halftime I said, Paul McDonald, my quarterback. Your quarterback. I said, what are you wearing yesterday? Gloves, scuba gloves. My hands. Screw your hands. So boss went through it. I go, God damn it. So I can't believe this crap. So second half bounce, we get down there again and Coach will take the eye. He's afraid to kick the field goal. Remember, then he threw the ball to Logan and got it intercepted because Paul brought the ball. It's like, but Paul didn't have, took his gloves off. Except what he caught it is, you can't do that. Once you put something in the coach's head that you can't do, you're screwed. I could have gone to every time I eat breakfast after that, I look at it and I go, farm down, big puss. You're Super Bowl. I don't usually talk like that. You filter I use.
Well, in a few weeks, you guys are going to be back here again for Enshrinement 2025, where we're going to celebrate the 2025 class. Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. Who do you guys love most about coming back for Enshrinement weekend?
Just this right here. We're brothers forever. You go see our bus at the bus room, those things are going to last for, I don't know how many years, 40,000 years. So when they dig up Canton, if they ever do before that, our bus will be over there. That's the beauty of it. And, to mention you about the new class coming in, I always made it a point at the Super Bowl every year, the last 11 years, that was my 11th year as a Hall of Famer, to say something to all the new class coming in or the potential new class guys coming in. I had to wait 7 years. Sometimes guys wait 1, 2, 3 years. But one thing is really evident. We're all in the same room over there. And no matter what year it was. But I mentioned to them that you'll never forget this day. You get inducted, you get picked. You never forget this day. You never forget Enshrinement week. That's why I always try to get these guys to come back every single year because it's so important to this community. It's important to our Hall of Fame teammates forever to come back and see everybody. It's really important to me. You come back every year, and it's like we never drop. We never miss a beat. And to see everybody every year is a treat for me. So that's why I come back every year.
I'll be in this group. I've only been in 2 years, so it's hard for me to answer this question. I've only been back one time, right? Got inducted and came back last year. Much better coming back as the not inductee. The inductee year is craziness, man. Like, it's nonstop. But I think Andre nailed it for the one reason that I said earlier. This is a special groove to be a part of, and I'll never take it for granted. I know how hard it is to get here. I know how hard I had to work to be now recognized. Because you play the game for as long as however long you play. You take inventory of your career at the end, and you think that maybe it's a Hall of Fame career, but you don't know. You still got to get elected in. And having to wait 6 years, like Andre, you had to wait 7. It's an appreciation, Frank, just of what this building means and what this gold jacket means. I'll never take it for granted. I think that's the best thing about coming back and seeing that realization on this year. These 4 guys that are going to go in this year, no matter how they feel about it or how long it took them to get in. Like Antonio Gates could have been a first ballot Hall of Fame, but he had to wait a year, right? Jerry Allen, he had to wait, right? Sterling had to wait 25 years, man. Like Sterling Sharp, and I didn't play against him, but I watched him. Like, I know he only played 7 years, so he got hurt, but he's gonna get here and he'll realize just how significant this accomplishment is for him, and I like being part of that. So that's why I like coming back.
Well, good stuff. You have to wait about me coming back, all right? 38 years I waited for this opportunity to be here. I'm so ingrained here now, I got a condo here in Kansas. I'm paying taxes here, right? No, I waited 38 years, and the best part about coming back for the enshrinement is the Hall of Fame luncheon with just Hall of Famers there. The first time I did that, it was just such a great feeling and enjoyment, accomplishment, and everything else. And you see all these other Hall of Famers, and David Robinson got up there and gave this tremendous speech and said, you might be in other Hall of Fames, and I'm in 9 Hall of Fames, all right? And you might be in others, but nothing is more prestigious than the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And you find out, he said, you'll find out how people react to you now because you are a Hall of Famer. And it was so true. It's so true. People look at me a little different with a little more respect because I'm a Hall of Famer. Not just a Hall of Famer, but a Pro Football Hall of Famer. With all due respect to all the other Hall of Famers, the Hall of Fames on the pro level, this has got to be the most prestigious because it's just pro football players, all right? Coaches and all that, for sure, but it's just us. And so when you get that Hall of Fame luncheon, I remember when Jim Brown came through that door when they introduced him, and I'm looking, first of all, I'm looking at Tony Dorsett. I said, Tony, look at all those Steeler Hall of Famers. No wonder we couldn't beat those guys. Jeez. But they introduced Jim Brown. He came through the door and busted doors open, and he was on a walker. But this is Jim Brown, all right? He wasn't walking like this with that. He was walking like this with his walker. And everybody in that room got up and gave Jim Brown that standing ovation. And I tell you, I almost had tears in my eyes when I experienced that. Because Jim Brown was a hero of mine growing up, coming through. But the respect that you did as a Hall of Famer is unbelievable. And I'm just so thankful after waiting 38 years. And now, through that whole process of waiting, I did not ever one time criticize the Pro Football Hall of Fame. All right? Because I knew one day if I did get in and be around those guys, I didn't want to face them saying negative things ever about what they accomplished and why they're there. I'm not saying to other guys that there's a lot of guys, receivers, got in before me. They are Hall of Famers, no doubt. All I ever said was that if they are, then maybe one day I will be one. And it happened. I'm here. So that's it.
I still couldn't believe LeRoy had a Hall of Fame podium.
I still can't believe it either. Really? the thing about me, it's baked in the cake. So when I come back to Canton, you get goosebumps as you drive down McCann. But the Hall of Fame week, I think about the 500 volunteers that helps us get to where we're going, keeps us organized. I think about the employees that you now know their names, you know, their families. I want to know how the machine runs. So I love seeing that. Jim Porter, president, just his family. I love seeing that. Because you're talking about for the parade, you at the hotel, everything has to be done. I want to know, how does that work? Because this is a well-oiled machine. I appreciate the employees, and then more than anything, I always go to the Hall of Fame Cafe and get me a nice burger. Because they don't judge me. Because I say I want it well done like a hockey puck, they give it to me. I don't want somebody speaking through a microphone saying, sir, we don't do that. So I go down there and just find out they treat everybody like a Hall of Famer. I was a little dejected, but it's okay. And then I love going into the store, of course, and, you know, buying stuff for your family and friends. But more than anything, when I see parents coming through, because my mom raised 5 kids by herself in the inner city in extreme poverty. I never had a dad to come with my mom to the Hall of Fame. So kids, take advantage of that. I mean, this is truly, truly amazing. So I, like my hero, I'm never missing, because when I get a chance to see 192, all these, no, oh, there's answer throw it. You see these guys, you are in awe of them. Because when I first saw, you know, the players you play against, it does, I feel like a fan. And then I wake myself up, wait, I'm in the Hall of Fame too. Then I said, no, that's the beauty of it. You get a chance to go up to a young man and say, I love playing against you, I respect you, and you were my hero growing up. You can't wait till somebody pass away and say, you know what, I really wish I'd spent more time with my mom, uncle, or cousin. No, do it while they're alive. Right. Give them their flowers. Love them, respect them. Because that's what it's all about.
Very well taken. Y'all, I put the same thing. I got in the Hall of Fame 50 years ago with all of his age, with 16 years. And my wife got 8. Oh, I wonder this happened. That they used to just call you up. The thing was saying like the thing was in on. And we ended up being classmates in the Hall of Fame. When we played, I never caught the L in one. I liked it. I don't like how it looks. Guy, I had a trap lock of all of that. But we had no solutions there. I just thought, oh, how he is. And then I met him at Pearson. We started Captain Fisher. He lives in Houston. He don't like to fly. So he flew to Charlotte, and his wife, we drove up 20-some years. You get tomorrow, guy. I did try. That sounds. As Ellen is when he signed his contract, I said we always said, what'd you get? Ellen was 4th round pick, and he was from Semple, North Carolina, Semple, I believe. I was from one of the black schools, and I said, oh, what'd you get when you signed? I was the 1st round pick for Buffalo. I thought I was there. Sure, 30 signing. 22 points for 618, 30 for 5 years. Look. I go, oh, and what'd you get? Oh, what happens? The owner at he said, well, I got drafted, 4th round pick from my school, yeah.
I'm basically like a second round pick. But I think they won better for you, buddy.
You're special. I'm gonna give you 2 of my best cows for a race stop. And he said, when they breed, you're gonna have a whole herd. You're gonna be rich. So man, people saw. He's secret not published. All of a sudden he's about April. Seeing those cows. And so it goes for the ants. He said, hey, how many cows you know? Bulls were. It's all Johnny Orr. I forgot they both died. That's what happened. That's how they did it back then. Oh, that's the game you guys split. Yeah. But that's how it is. So you get those stories. It's fun. And you make lifetime friends. That's it.
I guess for myself, is definitely the guys. I mean, the relationships, the guys that we meet, guys that built the game before I had a chance to play, the guys that continue the legacy of the game after I retired. For me, I don't take it for granted. I still pinch myself every time. I live in Cincinnati, so it's a 3-hour drive. And I come up here a lot. I come every year. Every time I'm driving up, I got to watch it because I'm daydreaming about being a pro football Hall of Famer and hanging out with these guys. Now, I'm not the oldest one up here, but I've been in the Hall 27 years. So think about 27 years, and the guys that I've had a chance to meet and get to know. And I know what part of the state I'm in. How about Dante Glue Fingers Lavelli? Lou the Toe Grows. I mean, Ace Parker. Bullet Bill Dudley. I mean, those are guys that I've had a chance. Merlin Olsen, Deacon Jones, Gail Sayers. To me, those are memories and friendships that I'll carry for the rest of my life because I get a chance to come up to Canton and be a part of this great fraternity. I mean, I talk about it, and there should be nicknames like that for players these days. I mean, you know, Crazy Legs first, you know, things like that. But the relationships we've been able, and, you know, LeRoy talks about, you know, Drew being his hero. I grew up flag football. I didn't mention I was a quarterback flag football for 5 years. Well, I was a third baseman and pitcher. The strength was my arm, so I could throw the ball forever. I wasn't very fast running, but, you know, so when I get in here, there's Lenny Dawson, who I emulated when I was a kid. I'd go out on the street and I'd be Lenny Dawson, so I get a chance to meet him. Of course, all the Chiefs that I became a fan of at the age of 10, Bobby Bell and Willie Lanier and Jan Stenerud. For some reason, the Southern California kid with the Rams there and the Chargers down the road and the 49ers up in San Francisco, I became a Kansas City Chiefs fan. So the opportunity to meet guys, and like I said, we had a chance to compete against each other, but all of a sudden we're in the hall and we're like family. I mean, we golf together, we do events like this together. So to me, that's what it's all about, is just coming up here and being with the guys. And there's no question, the Raininsky luncheon, where it's just Hall of Fame. You know, for me, back in the day, Deacon used to get up, and if only Deacon Jones could do it. He's the one that said, you know, we're on a team, we can't get traded, we can't get cut, we can't get waived. We'll be on this team forever. And he'd get up there with the passion. And another passion he had, because the only regret I have is I got to know Ray Nitschke, and he passed away in March of '98, and I was inducted in August 28th. So to be at this luncheon that carries the name of Ray Nitschke and have a guy like Deacon Jones when I first got in that gets up the way Willie Lanier did for years, and the way that Warren Moon has transitioned into being the guy. We had Deacon Jones that would get up to the man, and he would preach it. And he would look the young guys in the eye and say, "This better be coming back every year." But it was like, you know, don't make excuses, but it's 3 days out of your year. Come back and be with the guys. And to me, it's a passion. I love coming back, being with the guys. And so it's the relationships that we get a chance to establish and to build.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Joy DeLamielleure, LeRoy Butler, champion of the state, all the Russell, and for the game, let's get it.